We are just a group of lay practitioners, and we follow Khenpo for a long time, and feel like to share with everybody else. So this teaching is taught by Khenpo Sodargye, and our goal as for today's talk, I'm going to talk about the teacher and our lineage, and the teaching is the book, and the class format, and the target audience, learners, and our inspiration, and so on. So our teacher is Khenpo Sodargye. He is one of the most influential Buddhist monk in China, and he was well published and well versed in all yanas of Buddhism. And he gave lectures in many universities worldwide, like Harvard and Beijing University. He even have a Sangha in Africa, which is very impressive. Um, so here is his website, khenposodargye.org, and his current location is in Laronga, which is in the Tibetan area of, West China, um, in Sichuan province. And the institute is called the Laronga Buddhist Academy, or sometimes called the Laronga Five Sciences Buddhist Academy. So this is well, they are currently, I would say, about at least at one time is more than 10,000 monastics study in there. This is the night picture of that academy. It's in a valley, and with all those little cabins built up on the hills, and this is the central area. Um, so everybody there, I think, were very dedicated to study and practice, and so and they were one time also a lot of lay practitioners go there just to listen to the class. Okay, so this is just a subset of his published books in, of course, a lot of them are in Chinese, most of them in Chinese. A lot of them are translated into English, German, I think that's German, Korean, and I believe they're French and all those different languages. So there are groups of he has groups of followers all over the world. That's what I can say. Even though he's based in China. So his teaching range, he's so very well versed and very he is actually is a renowned scholar in addition to being a monastic. So he teaches Abhidhamma Kosha, which I'm studying right now, and he teaches many Sutrayana teachings, including Pilaya, Prajna, Paramita Sutras. I list this few just because these few are so familiar, are so powerful in many sense. The Great Liberation Sutra and Midiyamaka, I think this is more like Nagarjuna's teaching on emptiness view, and Hatha this is the Buddhism logic, and much more. So he, of course, he is great perfection master. So he also teach Longchen Nyingtik Tantra. So that's but the teaching that he always emphasized, the most emphasized teachings are the two basic teachings, the way of the Bodhisattva, which was written by Shantideva, the Indian master. It's all about generating bodhicitta, how great bodhicitta is, how to generate it, and how to keep it, and so on. This is, if anyone has a chance, this is really a great teaching to follow. And the second one is this particular teaching, Words of My Perfect Teacher. So he spent 144 lectures on this one, and he spent almost 200, a little over 200 lectures on the first one. So that's how much time he was dedicated to these teachings, and always emphasize you are not pursue some superpower. Instead, you should start from just right here. So, and of course, we always care about the lineage transmission, the tradition, right, about Tibetan Buddhism. So Khenpo Sodargye's teacher is the main teacher, of course, Khenpo Patrul Rinpoche. He passed away in 2004. His teacher was, of course, you can there's a small words here. His biograph was, you can see his biograph in this link over here. There were more details. He followed many masters. Um, for this particular teaching, this is written by Patrul Rinpoche. Um, he got the lineage transmission from this particular Khenpo. I don't know how to translate his name into English. So he got from this one. This was one disciple of Patrul Rinpoche. And he actually transmitted to Lama Lodro, and then Khenpo Jime Patrul Rinpoche got from Lama Lodro. So for words of my perfect teacher, this is the writer, and from his disciples, this is second, third, fourth, fifth. To us, it's the sixth generation. So it's pretty close still. And of course, Khenpo Patrul Rinpoche also get a lot of his enlightenment experience from Mipa Rinpoche, which is another great masters in the written history of Tibetan Buddhism. Many of his teachings we are following. So stop me anytime if you have questions. Just speak out, okay? If I go too fast, also let me know. I tend to speak too fast. Um, so from Mipa Rinpoche, Patrul Rinpoche, we go up to Jime Jamwe Nugu, which was another great master. Okay, he was the direct disciple of Rinzin Jime Rinpa. Jime Rinpa was the Longchen Nyingtik, the creator of Longchen Nyingtik. And but you can see he got this teaching from Longchen Rajam. The years is like 400 years apart. Jime Nimba got his Longchen Rajam's teaching from his lucid dreams, and also and this spiritual transmission. So Longchen Rajam was the one actually put all the those secret teachings, tantras, together from Padmasambhava and Vimala Mitra and Yeshido and Sri Singha. These are all the ancient great masters of tantras. So for Longchen Nyingtik, the creator, I would say the one who actually propagated it, like spread it out the most was Rinzin Jimelimpa. And so this is our lineage from right here. Still very close. So that's our lineage and our teacher, and now the author of the words of my perfect teacher is Patrul Rinpoche, and this is this is not right. This is 1887. So Patrul Rinpoche was the third generation from Longchen Nyingtik's creator, Rinzin Jimelimpa. So he was famous for living a very simple life. So this is like basically all his belongings. Always carry a bowl, carry a kettle, and a Buddha statue and a few pieces of clothes. That's all he had in for his entire life. And he lived like actually like as a vagabond, and people don't really recognize him. But once he speak Dharma, and people will they just know. Um, so his favorite practice was the practice of cultivating bodhicitta, and he's remembered as a contemplative and a scholar who, through his practice, achieved the highest realization of ultimate reality. These words are from Lion's Roar website. So he was himself, there also himself was a highest achiever. So That's why his book until today is so beneficial to all of us still. At least one reason. So about this, the teaching itself, we in Tibetan word is called Ngöndro, and then it can be translated in preliminary practice. Of course, if there is preliminary, there will be advanced, right? So preliminary, but even though this one is termed preliminary, it's the foundation of Buddhism. It's not only Tibetan Buddhism. I would say it's the foundation of all Buddhism teachings. It's really transformative itself. Some people, including Dingo Chinje Rinpoche, which is such a great master, he always carry one copy of this book with him wherever he goes. So, even a master like that, they carry this book around. So, and it tells us a lot about the blessing power of this book, this teaching. So the teaching itself, is divided into many two parts. One is the first part is for uncommon or called ordinary preliminaries. This part is to tune the mind to Dharma. Just tell us how difficult it is to obtain a human rebirth and how short it is for the human rebirth and so on. So with all that mind training, we were generating renunciation and we want to pursue Dharma and pursue liberation. So that's the first part. The second part is uncommon preliminaries. We'll explain more later in later slides. So for the uncommon preliminaries, we will accumulate merits for more advanced study or at least for keeping this human format rebirth in the future and to purify our negative karma, to generating bodhicitta and to generating faith in the Buddhism and in the gurus. So all this, on the one side, it helps us it prepares us for more advanced Dhamma practice without completing the preliminaries. Theoretically, no master should tell you the more advanced Dharma, like Tantra, actual Tantra, and no master would give you empowerment. But if you finish and complete all these preliminaries, we'll talk about the standards about finishing, then you are qualified to receive empowerment. At least this is the rule of Khenpo Sodargye. Some other master may have different standard, but this is I think is a general rule. So it is not only a foundation, it also can be a lifetime practice, Dharma, practicing Dharma. All right. So this is the teaching part, and then there's more explanation about teaching part. There are three parts actually. The last part is talking about I believe the transference of consciousness. But the main two parts is the first part is the four ordinary or sometimes called common preliminaries. And the second part is the five extraordinary or called uncommon preliminaries. So the common preliminaries include four themes. The first one is the precious human rebirth, tells us being reborn as a human being, it is not a chance that everybody can get. It seems like everybody we have so many people in the world, and everybody can easily get one. But if you learn it through the Buddha's teaching in the sutras and the scriptural evidence and all those logical analysis, numeric analysis, you will know the human rebirth is not an easy occasion. And then the impermanence of life will only live up to maybe 100 years. So that's why. And then principle of cause and effect. Why this one? Because if we don't practice Dharma, if we don't train our mind, and then if we create a lot of negative karma, and there will be next lifetime, and in the next lifetime, the karma will show its effect, and the people can take rebirth in the lower realms, like in the hungry ghost realm, in as animals, or even in the hell realm. So, so this the third point is to teach the principle of cause and effect. So we do want to accumulate merits and train our mind to think more positively, to make sure at least we can have the human rebirth so we can practice Dharma, continue to practice Dharma, if not enlightened. And then because there will be after the life after death. So we don't want to take those like a cyclic existence forever. We want to get out of this because the um the nature of samsara is always suffering. There is no exception, it's always suffering. Sometimes maybe there is a little bit happiness, but that happiness is like a dew on the tip of the grass. It will dry out very quickly. Um, so this is the four themes. This is also called the four ways of turning mind into Dharma. So this is the for practice, we go through meditation, like you sit on this cushion and meditate. There will be guided texts to tell you how to meditate, how to analyze. So through meditation, we also, in addition to learning the text, we also do meditation to contemplate on these contents and make sure that we are convinced this is so true. So um and then the five extraordinary preliminaries. The first one is taking refuge. Without taking refuge, you're not a Buddhist. So whatever you practice is not a Buddhist practice. So it's important. Generating bodhicitta. So this is Mahayana Buddhist always. Bodhicitta is the mind to wanting to be uh, to attain the Buddhahood, and I also want to bring all other beings into that enlightenment. So we want to practice generating bodhicitta, and this is the second one. Third one is mandala offering. So mandala offering is more for accumulate merits and also for partially for purification. Um, it's a ceremony, a ritual we go through, and then in our visualization, we should visualize that we offer the entire um universe to these rituals, and in that way, because the entire world is kind of illusory. If we can imagine that imaginary offering is the same as your real offering. So this is for accumulating merits, and the fourth one, why we need to accumulate merits, because without merits, even the worldly things, you cannot achieve success. So this is important for both for the success of the practice. And then chanting and visualizing Vajrasattva. This is also 100 syllabus mantra. This is for purification. We all carry a lot of negative karma from previous lives. So we have to ensure that all these negativities are cleansed. So this is the best way to do that. And the fifth one is Guru Yoga. Sometimes we combine Guru Yoga with prostration. Actually, in our lineage, in Khenpo's teaching, we combine Guru Yoga with prostration. Prostration, just like they are bodily prostration. So all the first two kind of you recite 4 line verses and then go up to 100,000 repetition, because this is your actual practice. And the mandala offering also, each of these need 100,000 repetition. There is a typo again. So that's why people always talk about 500,000 preliminaries. So these five practice go, each one goes for 100,000 repetitions. So we have 500,000 preliminaries to go altogether. So for all of these, we come with a 92 guided meditation to go with it. Meditation, the campus requirement for us was each meditation for at least 4 times. This is more like analytic meditation. You go analyze the situation, contemplate about the cause, the reasons why the Buddhists say so, and then you convince yourself this is so true. So this is a little bit different than those shamatha meditation. So you need to contemplate and convince yourself. So this is 92. Each session should be at least 30 minutes, but this is campus standard. I'm not sure. We hope everybody can do this, but it actually takes a lot of time dedication. So this is the teaching and the textbook. It's words of my perfect teacher. This is it's a screenshot from Amazon. You can see this one, Dalai Lama wrote a preface. Patrul was the author. It's translated by I believe it's called the Patka Translation Group. You can order from Amazon. This is the text. And then campus teaching. Campus 144 lectures were translated into English by our Dharma friends, volunteers. So the final text is almost finished, and the first book hopefully will come out soon. But we do have the PDF files to share if you give your email and if you are really dedicated to the practice. So we do have multiple format of access. So we have video lectures. So each of the lecture will be given on YouTube with AI narrative, because Khenpo was teaching in Chinese, so AI narrative will be in English. So for receiving transmission in the Chinese group, everybody is required to listen to original teaching, right, on the video. But we'll talk about the lineage transmission soon. And then we will have Q&A sessions. You can post your questions on the YouTube community, and 4 of us will make sure we respond to your questions on a weekly basis. And then we have guided meditation. We talked about that. That actually was start from lecture 14. And then this actually has to be sitting sessions, because you need to contemplate, you need to analyze. And then we plan to have monthly meetings like this, and see and gather all the study people and see if people have any questions about the teaching, the meanings, and the practice.
Can
So
I ask a question?
yeah.
Sorry, to interrupt. How often will the lectures be available on YouTube? Will it be weekly or monthly or?
Our current plan is weekly, right?
Yes, to answer your question, it's weekly posting, but currently we already have like 7, 8 campus teachings there. You can just search on YouTube and you can find it. Yeah, I already posted, but you can just search preliminary practice, the playlist. You can start it from the importance of the preliminary practice. That would be good.
Okay.
I think we also posting the questions on community, right? Each session, yeah. I mean, each session we do have Khenpo's contemplating questions. We were also posted in community because this will helping us to understand this teaching's content. So,
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I
yeah.
forgot that part. Yeah, great.
Okay, go ahead.
We're almost done. So I want to leave a little time. So this is this is just a show what's this AI narrative about. You can
Rabjam.
This is the lesson 1, right?
So I think we are very fortunate to have the chance to study this great text. Of course, not everyone thinks the way I do, so I'm not sure whether all of you are on the same page with me. I have 2 expectations of you when you study the words of my perfect teacher. First, I hope you will hear the teaching.
I'm not going to show the whole video. We will send out emails. I think we will send out emails about the link, right? And this is a meditation, guided meditation. So we'll have
In the assembly of gurus, idams, and dakinis that fill the furthest reaches of space, and in the Buddha, Dharma, and noble Sangha, I and all the 6 classes go for refuge respectfully.
This is the opening prayer.
Okay.
And then follow.
I and the infinite number of beings have been Buddhas from the very start.
And also,
in acknowledgement that this is so,
part of the
I now cultivate the supreme bodhicitta.
And
over and over again, that you did not fall into
main part, contemplation.
Contemplate over and over again that you did not fall into the 8 unfree states and have obtained a precious human existence. You have every reason to be joyful and must strive to practice the Dharma. If you were born in Hell realm, you would suffer perpetually in the hot and cold hells, so you would have no opportunity to practice the Dharma whatsoever.
So this is a typical contemplation of nature of freedom. So in the very beginning, you can see always start from taking refuge, then generating bodhicitta, then you go to the main part, right? So that is the format. There is meaning behind that, but that's how we our meditations.
I just want to add a few words. It's still a work in progress, so we're adjusting the sound, everything. So it should get better and better as we go through weeks and weeks of practice.
So we know obtaining oral lineage transmission is very important. And as you see, Khenpo's teaching is AI narrative, and then his original teaching was in Chinese. But that was not the reason for not getting the lineage transmission. Got in touch with a monastic nun, and she is a very advanced teacher in Naronga. So she kindly agreed to give us the oral transmission of the entire book to our group. So
Right.
this is the real oral transmission. So when she reads the book to us, we have to sit there and listen. Of course, this will be online format, and so the practice transmission. So for this, the practice transmission, it's not the book it's not it's different from the book. Okay. The practice transmission follow Mipa Rinpoche's illuminating path to liberation. So for each practice, the taking refuge, and the generating bodhicitta or prostration and the mandala offering, and this is the book. You can find this book in online, or we can share it too. So Khenpo had that online version of giving transmission. I want to emphasize one thing. That many times when Khenpo give oral transmission, it will be in Tibetan. So for Chinese people like me, I don't understand the Tibetans, but it doesn't matter. As long as you listen the words from his mouth, and that's how you get your oral transmission. So language is not an issue, but you have to listen it from his mouth to our ears. That's the key. Okay, we'll share. We can share all these slides later on. So almost there. Target learners, and for whoever wants to seek foundational knowledge and practice in Buddhism, and who wants to complete the preliminaries, and then they can be posed to more advanced studies. In the Chinese group, can give us like maximum 5 years to finish 500 preliminaries, 500,000 preliminaries. So some other masters have different requirement, but this is what Khenpo requires. So additional resource will give free study materials and guidance, and we also we want to make sure everybody can understand and can do a good practice and feel like we actually have a sangha. Yeah, I think that's okay for us. So our goal is to facilitate everybody's journey through the preliminary practice and eventually to be enlightened. So like I said, we already said we're inspired because we ourselves gained such great benefits. So we want to share these teachings.
I'm just wondering, will this you may have mentioned it, but is the PowerPoint slides, are they going to be made available to us or as
Yes,
reference? Okay,
yes. And
thank you.
did you sign up? Yeah, right? We have your email.
Yes, yes.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the next step in this practice?
Yeah, we like for next week, we will continue do some like posting these teachings. The week after, we'll started this preliminary practice, started the course. The first one, we have a video which is the importance of the preliminary practice, which already posted, but I'm going to repost it again.
Okay.
Because we have 144 now. In gradually we'll make the video, and I normally will like the week after next week. Sometimes I can put this It's already there, but I can put the video on live stream for 1 or 2 days just to emphasize this teaching.
Great.
Yeah.
So it'll be next Saturday at the same time?
The week after, next
Oh,
Saturday. Yeah,
so
I'm going to
2 weeks. Okay.
right, and post the community as well, because the real content and also the questions, contemplating questions, right? So what's the steps, the details is in community, but the real videos are already in YouTube channel, but I'm going to post a link. But
Okay.
if there's needed for contemplating that guided meditation, which is lesson 14, we will post that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like all the materials were posted, but I'm going to share the PDF file by email because we don't want to share public for the
Of course. Thank you.
translations.
Maybe when we hear all these numbers, 500, I remember when I just started, I was just like, what? That's just my jaws dropping. But I think there's plenty of time, 4 or 5 years, go through it just at our own pace. I think the most important thing, we just not doing for someone else, is for us, ourselves. I think with that attitude and just one step after the other.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
like,
We will also have a practice guide when the time comes up for each of the
Yes.
5 preliminaries. And
Yeah, this is on the way as well.
Okay, so I think we're good, right?
All right, so we are next. So formal study starts November 2nd, and then we'll post questions in the community, and then we'll have another meeting in November.
Yes,
Okay,
we will
and
post the schedule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.